It is also a chance for the board to make public comments as individuals, and you can also give direction or ask for specific consideration from the consultants in the planning team. But we are not expecting any votes on any specific items. So just wanted to clarify that part of it. So without further ado, I'd like to turn the meeting over to Audrey Knight, who is our planning team manager at this point. Yes.
Couple of items of procedure. To the clerk, confirmation on proper notice.
Yes, we do have proper notice.
Okay, and at this time I will open the public hearing.
Okay.
Back to you.
Okay. Audrey Knight.
Thank you, Allison, and thank you, supervisors, for taking the time this afternoon, and to the public as well. We're going to just give a brief overview of some of the general plan issues, just as an overview as we begin the public comment period. Keep in mind that we will be discussing comments to the general plan itself as well as the accompanying EIR. Patrick Ford, who you're all probably most familiar with, will be reviewing some of the land use changes that are in the current preferred alternative. And I have with me from PMC, Patrick Angel and Catherine Lee, who are the primary authors of the EIR, to answer those questions. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Patrick, and he'll give a brief overview of the process that has gotten us to the preferred alternative.
Good afternoon, Board of Supervisors. I'm just going to go briefly over how the land use map changes have been handled by their department over the past few years. Over the past few years, from 2005 to November of last year, we received 56 total applications to make requests to make changes to the general plan designations of properties, of which ultimately 30 were accepted through this process, affecting approximately 2,800 acres, or about 1% of the county's unincorporated area. The way the process worked is staff evaluated all applications for potential impacts and consistency with the plan, the map, and policies. We took in applications and screened them, and then sorted them into 4 groups. Group 1 and 2 were ultimately recommended to go for the project, and we had Group 3, which were not recommended due to inconsistency with the plan, and then a 4th group, which were not recommended due to potentially significant environmental impacts. We brought these in front of you on January 14th in these 4 groups, and then brought into 2 general recommendations, one which was the project alternative, which included groups 1 and 2, and then group 3 were brought in as a potential alternative called the EIR alternative. Group 4 were recommended for removal from the GPU process. On the same day, the board recommended to us that 4 of these applications from the EIR alternative be moved directly to the project alternative, and that another 5 from those recommended in Group 4 for removal were to talk with the planning team staff to see if there was a potential modification that could allow them to be included with the project alternative. Staff returned on the 26th of February and had recommended 5 of those applications be modified and included with the project alternative. All 5 of which had agreement with the applicant owners of those parcels. The remainder were excluded from the general plan process at that point. This resulted in the preferred project, of which the map you see in front of you here. The alternative adds another 16 to that map, and both would be considered cumulative, or both the alternative and the EIR project would be as part of the alternative. Where we are today is we have received a number of comments to planning team staff, and in favor of or in opposition to some of the classification or placement of the individual properties in here. The board is being asked to confirm these groupings that you see in front of you here. The board will be asked to finalize the project alternative set of land use changes as part of the final EIR process, which will occur in March of next year. The board can then add or remove EIR alternative, remove applications from the EIR alternative, or as you see fit at that time. Today, we have available on this computer all of the maps that are at question in this hearing. So when you have speakers come up in front of you, you will be able to see the specific properties that they are speaking to. And for anybody who is speaking to a property, be sure you let me know which one you're referring to, and I'll pull it up on the computer. With that, we conclude. Did you want to add anything?
Yeah, I think what we'll do at this juncture is begin with public comment on the general plan and those directed at map changes specifically